Am I the asshole for refusing to cook for my wife anymore after she ate 3 of my meal prepped meals? In my household, my wife doesn't cook. She sucks at it, and it's just easier on our taste buds if I cook for us. Earlier this year, we both decided that it was time for us to get back in shape. I decided to research some macro-calorie friendly cooking recipes and got big into meal prepping. My wife stuck with it for a few weeks, but ultimately decided to quit. Luckily, this wasn't too much of an issue for me. She's a nurse and frequently works much later than I do. My typical workday is from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so I would make my meal prep meals for the week on my day off, and then I would make dinner like I did prior. When I meal prep, I make 6 days worth of 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then just swap around the lunch and the dinner. Last week, I left Thursday morning for work, and I planned on coming back Friday morning and stopping through home, grabbing anything that I needed, then heading to the office. This was known for weeks in advance. I didn't spring this on my wife. I figured that she would be able to make sure that she and our kid got dinner that night and breakfast the next morning. The next morning, I'm running late and I drive through home looking for my last breakfast and lunch for the week, and they're gone. Oh yeah, I would have been irritated too. I don't have time to ask my wife, nor do I want to wake her up early before her shift, so I just go. I ended up skipping breakfast and lunch. I got off work and I'm starving, and I decide I'm just going to eat dinner early. When I look for my dinner for that night, it's not there. This is what set me off. When my wife gets home, I ask her what's up. She admits to eating the meals. I tell her that I portioned out food for an entire day and she ate all of it in a single night. She said that it was my fault that I didn't make anything for her and our kid to eat. One fucking day? Ma'am, you are 30 some odd years old and you don't know how to make sure your child and yourself can eat for one day when your husband's not there. Bitch, you can't make butter noodles? Like, what? I feel like everybody can boil fucking pasta. Like, ma'am, sir, no, you're not the asshole. Because what? Like, it's your fault for not making sure that I had food at 30 years old. DoorDash don't come in your area? Like, it's not yours. Don't fucking touch it. She said that it was my fault as I didn't make anything for her and our kid to eat. I just left the meal prep things, so they had to eat those. We got into an argument and she told me that I was being selfish. No, ma'am. No, I made this for me. You knew that this was for me. This grown ass one. What is that fucking phrase that it's like when people say that they can't do shit so their partner will do it. What the fuck is it called? Weaponized incompetence. Isn't that what? Yeah, weaponized incompetence. You say you can't do some shit just so that you don't ever have to fucking do it. No, she is at her big ass grown age of fucking what? You don't even fucking tell me. This bitch should be old enough to learn how to fucking cook. If she don't know how, she's old enough to fucking learn. So now I decided that if I'm selfish for expecting her to feed herself for one night, I would just not cook anymore, as I'm doing a lot of work for a selfish person. For the past week, I made my meal prep meals and stored them at work and let her figure out what she wants to do for dinner by herself. Of course, I still cook for my kid, but only one portion, small enough for him to eat by himself. I told her that I would keep this up and that she should learn how to cook for herself if she's not happy about it. She told me she's too tired when she comes home from work to cook and that I'm being incredibly petty. I think I'm justified and I'm pushing her to learn a life skill she should have learned by now. Am I the asshole? Okay, so I completely understand her saying that she's tired when she comes home from work. I 100% get that. She's a nurse. She's on her feet. She's moving around. She's doing the damn thing. I get you being tired. But baby girl, we got to know how to cook. You were somebody's mom. Yes, our husband is doing it right now and he's had no problem doing it and will have no problem, continuing to feed our child. But what happens if, heaven forbid, but your husband doesn't make it home from one of his work trips? Shit happens all the fucking time. What are you going to do? Eventually, the meal prep meals are going to run out. Then what are you going to do? You have to be able to cook at least the basics to take care of your kid. Like, if you don't want to learn to cook for yourself, learn to at least be able to boil water and not burn pasta so you can feed the baby. I feel like, sir, I don't think you're the asshole. Personally, no, because I would have done the exact same thing. If I'm selfish, I'm not about to keep doing all this extra work for somebody that's so fucking selfish because I am not living up to the title. So, sir, no, I don't think you're the asshole. Your wife is not helpless. Not at all. She has the ability to learn and she needs to take the initiative to get up and learn how to cook, to feed her fucking self. Like, and if she don't want to, then she needs to go to the store and stock up on all the freezer meals. Like, she's not helpless. So if she starves, it's 100% her problem. Am I the asshole for threatening to divorce my wife if she doesn't discipline her son? I, 45 male, am married to my wife, 47 female. We both have teen sons from previous relationships. Her son, Noah, 14, and my son, Spencer, 15. Spencer's biological mom is a deadbeat who doesn't pay her child support and hasn't spoken to Spencer in years, while Noah's biological dad is very involved in his life and takes him every other week. Noah's dad also makes a fair bit more money than either me or my wife. This leads to Noah having nicer things than Spencer. Example, Noah has a fairly new iPhone while Spencer has his old model with a cracked screen. Noah's dad has promised to pay his way through college while Spencer works 2 part-time jobs, his choice, to start saving up, but will still probably have to take out loans. Most relevant to our current problem, Spencer wears almost exclusively secondhand or thrifted clothes, while Noah's dad buys him department store or name brand clothes. Because of the difference in the way the two boys dress, Noah has taken to making fun of Spencer for looking like a hobo or like he crawled out of the gutter and trailer trash. Oh, disrespectful as fuck. Absolutely not. Noah's got to go live with his rich ass daddy then if he gonna be disrespectful in my house. They're just nasty, unnecessary, and in my opinion, very classist insults. It's not like Spencer doesn't put effort into his appearance. We just don't have the money to fill his closet with $30 t-shirts and $70 pairs of jeans. Now Spencer has a bit of a temper, and the difference between his things and Noah's things is a sore spot. As a result, the boys have gotten into several shouting matches and one major physical altercation. Spencer is tall for his age, and Noah hit puberty late, so it was more of a beatdown than a fight, though no one went to the hospital. I've spoken to my wife multiple times about disciplining Noah, but she insists that he's just doing it to get a reaction out of Spencer. All the more fucking reason for you to whoop his big ass. Like, what the fuck? He knows what he's doing. He's old enough to know fucking better. He should be disciplined for doing something that we all know is fucking wrong, regardless of the reason of why he's fucking doing it. He's doing it. That case in fucking point. Whoop his ass. She said the solution is for Spencer to stop falling for it. Bitch, my son is bullying and taunting this other kid. And instead of me smacking my son upside his motherfucking head and knocking some sense into him, the solution to my son bullying this kid is for the kid that is being bullied to stop reacting to the bullying. Sir, tell your wife to come outside. The solution is for Spencer to stop falling for it rather than to have any consequences or even a strong conversation with Noah. I may have accepted this if Noah was in elementary school. Why the fuck would you accept it if your kid was in elementary school? Bullying is fucking bullying, regardless of how old they are. Like, it don't fucking matter whether they know it's bullying or not. It needs to be shut the fuck down when it happens. Like, sir, are you kidding me? Noah's a teenager, and a teenager needs to at least be told not to antagonize his stepbrother, who he knows has outbursts. I tried to talk to Noah myself, but he just says, "You're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do." Look here, you little punk. You live in my house. So whether I'm your dad or not, there are fucking rules in this house. And if you don't want to follow them, pack your shit and get the fuck out. See, this is why I specifically chose to date someone that didn't have any children, because, I will love your child just like I love my own. And if mine was to get disrespectful to me, they be packing their shit and leaving too, because this is my house. I'm not going to be disrespected by nobody who live here for free. Get the fuck out. Noah would be upstairs packing his clothes. I talked to Spencer about keeping his temper in check, but at this point, it's not his fault when he's constantly being demeaned for something he has no control over. After the aforementioned physical incident, I gave my wife an ultimatum. Discipline Noah or I'm leaving. I told her that I couldn't keep my son in a home where he's constantly on edge because she refuses to parent her son. I told her that as a step-parent, I have little authority over Noah, so it's on her to set him straight. She asked me if I would seriously consider divorcing her over the way she parents her son. Bitch, yes! Yes, your son is literally stressing out my child. I will not stand for that. Bitch, I will leave you quicker than you can write down divorce. Me and my son will be gone. I said yes. This isn't about her, but about protecting my son from Noah's bullying. She said that I was being manipulative and that threatening divorce over every little thing is abusive. Over every little thing, as in your son intentionally picking on my child to the point that my child literally had to whoop his ass in his own house, his safe space, the one place that we are safe from all the things that the outside world can do to harm us. Bitch, that's not every little thing. That is one major fucking thing, too big of a thing for us to even have to talk about. Yeah, I'm done. Manipulative or not, you call it what you want. I call it divorce. I tried to explain that this isn't a little thing, and she just told me to give her a few days to think things over. I agreed to give her a week before I contact a lawyer. Am I the asshole? Okay, so no, I don't think you're the asshole in this situation at all. I think you are doing everything correctly. I do. I truly do. I think you're doing everything right because we've seen these stories many a times where the parents don't stand up for the kids when it comes to step siblings and step parents, and you're doing everything correctly. The one thing that I disagree with is you giving her a week before she gave you an answer, because this is something that I need to answer for right now. What the fuck do you need to think about? You need to think about if your marriage is worth you telling your son to stop being an asshole. Like that makes absolutely no sense to me. You know, like when it gets to the point that my son has to physically defend himself because some asshole won't leave him alone, we need answers right now. I'm not giving you a week. I would go ahead and contact the lawyers right now because the time is run out. Like this shit needed to be addressed a long time ago. I'm glad that you're addressing it after they got physical because screaming matches, all right, teenagers are going to do that. But the physical shit that's not at all. And like the fact that your wife has to take a week to even consider wanting to save her marriage shows you how she feels about your son. She feels like her son is right. So if she does change, it's not going to last long. It's not going to last long at all before the same shit starts to happen again. I wouldn't even consider giving her another chance. Just be ready to start your life with your son somewhere else. Am I the asshole for telling my roommate that her anorexia is not my problem? We're both 23 female. It's been getting into the 90s where we live, so I've been turning on the AC when I get home. I also work a physically intense outdoor job, so I come home really sweaty and exhausted from the heat. The apartment will stay cool enough for me to fall asleep, but then later on, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, completely drenched in sweat. I'll then get up and find out that my roommate has been switching the AC off while I'm sleeping. This really upsets me because it's making me really dehydrated and tired to begin with from not sleeping well, and it's been impacting my work. She's unemployed right now, so I thought she might have been hung up about the power bill. When I finally talked to her about it, I explained that I'm already very sensitive to heat to begin with, and that because we're fortunate enough to have AC, I want to enjoy it when I get home, especially after a long day at work, and that the heat is causing problems for me. I even offered to foot some of her share of the power bill if she was really that concerned about it. But she said that she turns the AC off because the apartment gets too cold. Bitch, put on a fucking blanket. Put on a blanket. Put on some fucking socks. Gotta grab a goddamn sweater. Like, what do you mean? It's not just you. Turn the AC to a common fucking setting and bundle the fuck up. Close the vent in your bedroom. Duh. I should add that our AC is set at 70 and has never been moved any lower than that. I told her that she should just use some blankets or put on a sweater if it was really bothering her, because the heat is unbearable. She countered by saying that she's in recovery from anorexia. She's really sensitive to cold and that I'm not prioritizing her needs. Because it's not my fucking problem. You are not trying to find a solution that works best for the both of us. Your issues are not my issues. It's your job to fix it so that it works for fucking you. You don't get to cut off the air conditioner because you're cold and don't want to wrap up in a blanket. That don't make no fucking sense. So everybody in the house got to be hot because you're cold? No ma'am, that's not how it works. I then responded by saying, I'm sympathetic to your situation, but that's your problem and not mine. And it's starting to have a negative impact on me, and we need to find some middle ground here because I can't take off my skin when it gets too hot. She then got extremely upset and angry and told me that I was being ableist and insensitive. I'm kind of bothered by this because I've also had struggles with eating disorders in the past. So am I the asshole here? Additional information. I see a lot of people making the assumption that I'm completely unwilling to compromise with her or that I'm set on having it at 70. During our talk, I offered to adjust the temperature, but she wants it completely off. Not adjusted, off all the way. And that was what made me angry. Absolutely the fuck not. No, you better than me because I would turn the air conditioner to like a good 72, 73 and take the whole fucking thing off the wall. Take it in my room and go to sleep. Bitch, don't knock on my motherfucking door, put on some sweatpants and grab a blanket or freeze. I'm not about to have this fight with you. You're refusing to do anything to help your fucking self and you expect everybody else in the goddamn house to just suffer? Bitch, not today. Not in this fucking lifetime. Would I be the asshole if I broke up with my girlfriend for humiliating me? I, 23 male, have been with C, 23 female, for 4 years. We got together during our freshman year of college. We became very close and both held similar beliefs and wanted similar things out of life. We moved in with each other and grew really close, almost inseparable during the pandemic. I wanted to marry this woman until last night. C has been under more stress from work and family during the last few months. Her dad has cancer and it hasn't been easy on her. She's been drinking more and more. And while I don't mind her drinking, it's how she gets when she's drunk is where I begin to have issues. She has a tendency to get really mean and say some awful things. Talking about my appearance or how small my member is. She makes me feel like I'm not enough for her sexually or emotionally. She's almost always apologetic the next morning and will spend the next few days after that trying to fix things, but will turn around and do it again when she drinks. Drunk actions or sober thoughts. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. It really came to a head last night when I took her and her friend out to a local bar that's popular. I volunteered to be their DD for the night. She's driven drunk before and I didn't want her to make that choice again. I told her that I didn't want her to drink too much tonight and she agreed that she wouldn't. The bar was packed when we got there, so we all went and sat at the bar and ordered some food and drinks. They were enjoying themselves and I watched the game while they drank and enjoyed themselves. I got up and went to the bathroom, and when I got back, I noticed my girlfriend was getting loud, and her friend screamed, "Cock sleeve," while laughing. She then said, as I walked up and was in earshot, that her ex was the biggest she had and she missed it. I pretend to not hear it because I knew she was getting drunk. I touched her back and sat down at the bar again. A guy sitting at a table grabs both of our attention and asked us if I was the sleeve guy, and I immediately felt like I was going to be sick. These guys are laughing at me, and I asked C if she was serious. She kept laughing, so I just grabbed my keys and I walked out. I left both her and her friend there at the bar, and I drove home. I immediately packed up my essential stuff and went to stay with a close friend for a few days. I didn't get any text from C until about an hour after I left them there, asking me where I was. I then got a bunch of missed calls and text messages that weren't anything but angry. I answered one call and she was still slurring her words and I heard that she was in the bar, so I hung up and turned off my ringer. I woke up to a stream of apology texts and more missed phone calls. She apologized and said she fucked up. Okay, see, at this point, your apology means absolutely fucking nothing because the behavior isn't changing. What are you apologizing for? You're not apologizing for what the fuck you did. You're apologizing that I'm upset about it. That's not the same fucking thing. You need to change your behavior if you're actually sorry about it. She said she fucked up and was wondering when I was coming home, that I satisfy her and that I'm more than enough for her, that she'll make this right if I come home. I'm just done. I feel humiliated and embarrassed. Her and I had what I thought was a good sexual relationship. We did foreplay and used toys, but I've never not once gone out of my way to pleasure her or get her off. I'm not the biggest guy down there, so yeah, I use a sleeve to help her get off too. I just didn't think she would use that against me like that. I don't want to go back home. I love her, but I feel really humiliated and like she doesn't respect me as a man or a partner. Would I be the asshole if I broke up with her over this? No. Because how many times are you going to allow her to humiliate you and embarrass you for her own pleasure? She knows that alcohol gets her this way. Instead of not drinking, she does it any fucking way because she's just going to apologize the next day. Like, no, that's not okay. She's been a perfect partner. Otherwise, I just feel like she didn't respect me at all. And after what she said about her ex, I can't help but suspect things. How is she a perfect partner when she's completely disrespecting you and putting your business out into the bar full of fucking random people and then making fun of you? Like, there's nothing perfect about that. I don't give a damn how well she cooks. I don't give a fuck how clean the house stay. I don't give a damn that she do that one thing that you like with her hips. That doesn't mean she's fucking perfect. Like, this woman is absolutely disgusting. She's horrible. Edit. I'm going to text C back and tell her that I'll be there tomorrow to talk and get the rest of my things. My supportive friend said that I don't have to worry about a place to stay for right now. She's always been one of my closest friends, so it feels good to have some support right now. Thank you everyone for your advice. I planned on ending things with C. My friend and her brother are going to go as well to make sure things don't go crazy. I don't know what C might do at this point. Bro, you're not the asshole. Like, I understand that you love her and that you care for her, but her behavior is absolutely disgusting. She needs to get help. Your girlfriend is an alcoholic. She's using alcohol to cope with the things that are going wrong in her life, and it's not healthy. And you are, unfortunately suffering from it as well. You have every right to break up with her. I also want to add that you can end a relationship at any time for any reason. Like, don't feel like you have to stay in a relationship simply because things aren't bad right now. Like, if you're no longer in it full-heartedly, end it. Because at this point, you're just wasting everybody's time. Like, I told my boyfriend, baby, I don't care how happy we are, but I will not be your girlfriend for fucking ever. If you're going to try to keep me a girlfriend for 5+ years, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the line, I'm going to break up with you because my boyfriend will not stop me from meeting my husband, regardless of how happy I am. So, like, you can end a relationship whenever you want. The other person may not like it. Other people around you may not agree with it, but that doesn't make it wrong.